Vlogtober. We got a vlog every day. If you bored, need something to watch, come our way. We got Dexter beautifully blended on the tube for you. Subscribe, hit that bell. You know what to do. Be blessed. Be blessed.
Hi. I'm taking the video. Oh, you're taking the video. This video, yes, ma'am. Some of my dresses are what? I just put out he said it's his birthday. Now it's my sister's birthday. You can't play with what you ain't got. Wait. Hey! Hey!
Dexter Avenue, King Memorial Baptist Church, right? Okay, did you see that one? Yes, ma'am. Okay. Who was the pastor? Dr. Martin Luther King, right? Children. It's great to read about things.
Go ahead.
It was placed there in 1989. This was our second office building. The reason why you had to come through security is our first office building was actually bombed. The nonprofit organization that runs this facility is the Southern Poverty Law Center, and they're responsible for suing the United Klans of America. That's the branch of the Klan that's responsible for Michael Donald's death, the young man who was hanged in his throat split in 1981. They're also responsible for the deaths of the poor girls in the 16th Street bombing and the death of Viola Liuzzo, the only white woman that I know to be killed during the Civil Rights Movement. She was killed the night of the Voting Rights March. The SPLC won a $7 million judgment against the United Klans of America, and that kind of helped to usher in the era of being like a card-carrying member of the Klan. The way that they bombed our building, and the reason why they did it was because the Klan was actually kind of losing the case, the Michael Donald case, and so they crawled up through the sewer and up into the building and threw a Molotov cocktail. And the whole idea behind it is that they wanted to destroy the files from that case.
When year was that?
I want to say 85, but I'm not. It was in the mid-80s and before they won the judgment in 87. This space is called the Martyr Room. This space is dedicated to people who lost their lives during the Civil Rights Movement. There are placards along the wall. Some of the people you may know, like Emmett Till, Medgar Evers is up here, the four girls from the 16th Street bombing, the three men from the Mississippi burning case, and then Martin Luther King is up here as well. It's about voting rights and voter registration, and when people got wind of it, they got upset. So when he was driving his car in one direction, some people were driving in the other direction. They shot into his car and actually shot him in a way that made him unrecognizable in terms of the damage that it did to his face. His car wrecked, and then in the corruption in the city at that time, in that part of Mississippi, the coroner blamed his cause of death on the accident as opposed to the bullet fragments in his face. And so they never brought charges in his case either. Lamar Smith was the guy who registered people to vote in Mississippi, and he actually got into an argument with the white man in front of a courthouse and was shot in broad daylight. And nobody would testify that that white man had done it. And it was a very dangerous thing under the rules of segregation. So his great uncle's house and abducted him. They kidnapped him, took him into the woods. They did some very gruesome things to him. They wrapped barbed wire around his neck. They tortured him. They killed him and threw him in a river. When they discovered his body, He did not look the same. It could happen to anybody, man, woman, child, anybody. Like that level of violence was used to oppress black people. Emmett Till's great uncle actually was brave enough to testify against the men who had abducted him, which was a very bold thing. And once he stood up in court and pointed to the people in all that part of Mississippi after he testified. And Medgar Evers was actually responsible for protecting Emmett Till's uncle. Medgar Evers was the leader of the NAACP in Mississippi at the time, very outspoken advocate for integration. He actually is up here on this wall because he was assassinated in front of his home. There's a movie about it. I think it's called Ghost of Mississippi. Am I not mistaken? Okay, Ghost of Mississippi. Merle Evers, his wife, and his kids were in the house at the time. Byron Nealbeck was shot with a high-powered rifle, and they actually knew who did it, took him to trial 3 times. The first time was a hung jury, ended in a hung jury. Second time ended in a mistrial. And then the third time, in 1994, 31 years after Medgar Evers was killed, they got a conviction against the guy. And then Beckless spent the last 7 years of his life in jail. He died in 2001. Corporal and Ducksworth is a case that also happened in Mississippi. Mississippi's kind of ground zero when we think about the violent resistance to integration. It was a very dangerous.
I want to touch it.
I want to touch it. No, I want to touch it.
We know you want to touch it. Oh, you want to touch that too. You can touch it. Go ahead, Al. Why don't you touch it? Touch it. Now,
Hey, Jay. We over here by the water. Go with the names. Go with yourself. With the names. Remember, I'm
I
outside.
did.
Hey, Jay.
He's not worth
That building looks cool.
what is that?
I don't know.
Wingers.
Oh, bite.
Where Andre went?
Where'd he go?
I don't know. Stop, Pooh.
Fred Shuttleworth, now you talk about somebody who had it hard. They tried to kill Shuttlesworth. They bombed his house. They said, oh, they got him now. He's dead. I know he's dead. They looked up. The neighbors came. And here comes Fred coming out of the from behind the house. The house, hey, pummeled the house. House collapsed. And he came out of the house. He was in the bedroom reading his Bible. He said, I'm tougher than that. They relocated it here. It wasn't always here. The next house is Ralph Abernathy's home. It's also owned by the Abernathy still. But Nat King Cole's house was purchased by the by Alabama State, and they relocated it there. Right, that's it. Dr. King had come to have a meeting, a strategy meeting, because I told you he took part in all these civil rights cases, and to encourage and to figure out how are they going to continue. And they met at this church. This was at that time Ralph Abernathy's church. Now you see all these bricks on the outside of this building. This is what I want to tell you. When they had that little church down there, that little wood structure down there, they didn't. They said the pastor there said, you know, we need to build us a new church. So they said, whenever y'all go through your daily thing, you know, back in the day they knocked down structures and stuff, and you see bricks piled up somewhere. They said, bring a brick. Put a brick in your car, put a brick in your purse, whatever. Bring a brick. This church ended up being built by collecting bricks from structures that use bricks. Now, so it's got the moniker. You'll see it on the, you look behind you on the other side, see that van that says the Brick a Day Church? They had a marker out front. It says the Brick a Day Church. That's what it was named. They had to import the windows from Europe. You know why? White people wouldn't sell them windows. Yeah. They did not want this structure built. And this is the original church where Ralph Abernathy became the pastor. He wasn't there then. And it was in the 1800s.
So he had a church than Martin.
He had a bigger one. It's bigger than King, than Dexter.